What is that supposed to be?
Yeah, literally. What's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing well.
Is that our intro?
Yeah.
You having a mild mental break for a second? I was like, oh my god.
I had to do something different because every time I'm always like, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Esports Rewind Podcast. Number 15, we've survived. Dude, in my head, it came out so much better. It was going to be so clean. I was going to be like, what's up, Zan? How you doing? I don't even know.
What was that supposed to be even?
You know, like,
is that like...
You know, like when you open a door and sometimes they go,
No, it's like
a stereo.
like...
Oh,
it's like it's one solid sound or something.
I feel like
not
we're picturing different movies here, Zan. Different movies have different door sounds.
I wasn't even thinking about movies. I was thinking about real doors.
Well, anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome back to Esports Rewind Podcast, episode number 15, where we touch on the craziest, the coolest, sometimes not the coolest esports news and gaming news. And this past week, Zan, as per usual, has been pretty unique. So,
I'd agree.
Would you like to get it started?
Yeah, let's do it. Are we doing my story first?
Dude,
Yo.
You know what? You hit it up. You go first, dude.
All right, bet. Okay, so GameStop. Let's talk about them for a second. All right?
Sorry. Yeah, I kept interrupting you last time, so you just go with it, man.
Yeah, all right. So we talked previously about the fact that GameStop is they've had a rough go of it recently. I think, this past year they lost 70% of their value.
Which is never a good thing to hear.
It's a lot of money.
God, that's a lot.
Apparently, that's like $900 million plus dollars that are like just gone.
Because I recently saw their stock price was down to like $3. It's down to $1?
It went down to $1 at one point. It was so bad. Like, so bad. But...
It might be a good time to invest. Do we call it here? Don't invest yet. We're going to buy some shares first.
Maybe give it a sec.
Because, God dang, that's dirt.
Yeah, it's real low. But, and it was... Honestly, all signs are pointing towards things getting even worse because they just laid off over 100 more people this week. Half the staff over from Game Informer is gone.
Yep.
And those are like some good people too. Those are people like really strong journalistic backgrounds just gone now. But it appears all may not be lost for GameStop.
Oh, so you coming in with some good news about GameStop?
Yeah, theoretically.
Okay, because I have not heard a single good thing in the past. In the past, probably throughout 2019, besides their expansion into esports. But okay, there's good things apparently.
Yeah, so this guy named, are you familiar with Michael Burry at all?
I'm not good with names, man.
Yeah, okay,
Not good.
So he was the guy that Christian Bale played in The Big Short.
Now I know who you're talking. Batman. Is that the guy?
Yeah, that's the guy. But anyway, he and his company invested heavily, like to the tune of like they now own 3% of GameStop. And
okay, I thought you were gonna say like a bigger portion than that.
Well, no,
they invested.
That's huge.
Okay, but
that's like
but it's kind of
for
funny.
Any company.
You just said the stock price is down to $1.
Yeah,
they invested heavy. Got 3% of that.
Yeah, they
which I don't know what that equates to.
They have like 3 million shares.
Okay, so but only a few $1 million is heavy to you?
Well,
in today's day and age?
For what GameStop is looking like right now,
I just expected more out of Batman. I thought he had a bit more. Well, I've seen the movies, dude. He has a big layer, and so he invests $3 million.
This dude does indeed have cash, but he's known for, this guy specifically is known for getting ahead of trends.
Okay.
Like, for example, he was featured in The Big Short because he was one of the first investors to see a housing crisis coming and short sell before.
Wait, the actual dude?
Yeah, the actual dude.
Really?
Yeah,
That's why they featured him?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You always drop these knowledge bombs, man. Okay, that actually really is cool. So do you think he sees something for GameStop that we don't see?
It honestly just sounds like he's being rational about the whole thing because his whole perspective was, GameStop has hit probably the lowest it's ever hit.
How much lower can it go?
No, but he thinks it's going to hit a resurgence when the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, whatever they're going to call it, come out. Because those are also physical consoles, and this is what happens every single console cycle. Like there's a huge slide down, and of course it's been much more of a slide because we're going more digital overall. Yeah. But GameStop is looking good in his mind, good for the future anyway. And as a result of him investing, GameStop's stock has gone up 18%.
Okay, so is that what so you said before it dipped down to around $1? Yeah. And so latest reports then being around $3 or $4. Is that what equates that difference then?
I don't know what the exact dollar amount is at this moment because it's fluctuating.
That could be what I saw.
It's fluctuating quite a bit. Yeah, it's very possible.
You know, to kind of preach to his, I wish if I had known it was that low of a stock price, I might have hit up my financial planner and been like, hey, Winona, that's her actual name, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
Shouts to you,
Shout
Winona.
out Winona.
I might have said, yo, like because that actually, when you think about it from two perspectives, one, how much lower can it go? Two, we've talked about their restructuring, right? They are certainly, with their layoffs, they are certainly restructuring to a different direction.
Yeah.
And then you have the third point of, yes, there should be a resurgence in terms of physical copies for the last bit of what we'll probably see for that resurgence. So you dive in on that, and then you get their restructuring with complexity. They have their own gaming facility.
Yep.
If that's their new venture and you see potential in that and you don't see them going any lower than $1, it's a pretty sound investment, at least we think.
I mean, chances are GameStop it seems by all intents and purposes, it seems like they know they're messing up and they're downscaling to like kind of fix what they can.
It sucks, but they have to.
That's
obviously what happens.
Because GameStop was way too big. Because
let's be honest.
Yeah,
you can't have 5 guys taking 6 Xbox hard copy sales a day and making money.
Maybe Game Informer wasn't the right place to cut some fat, but I imagine actually closing like storefronts across the country is a lot more long-term of a process.
And I think I've also heard of those storefronts, I think they're also reducing the amount of regions they're also in.
Yeah,
so now they're only going to be in 3 regions.
They cut most of their regional managers.
It's a massive downsize. I think the story of the day, though, because at the end of the day, all I see is Batman invests into esports, but basically Batman invests into the GameStop.
Batman saved GameStop, to be honest.
Oh my, dude, come back in 2 years if that's the storyline, because that'll be so sick.
Low-key, it probably will be.
After the movie, and then he has this. I hope this happens.
I swear, this probably got on this guy's radar because of the Game Informer layoffs. He probably thought like, hold up. Their stock's going to be super low.
Dude,
we can get in on the ground floor. We can save it. And
this is such a great storyline because you know in the movie he's like he saw the housing crash. But
exactly.
Is he seeing the esports bubble or what is he seeing here, dude? Right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Batman invests in a GameStop, and I can't get past that storyline. Okay, Zan, I don't mean to bring you down. You could take your drink. I don't mean to bring this. Usually it's your job to be pessimistic and bring some sadder stories. This is like a crazy story that we have not chosen to cover on the main channel with its own dedicated video. But on the podcast, we can talk about general gaming news.
Okay, all right.
This is going to be the story that I talked with you about this morning. That's going to be now a 15-year-old. Will be going to at least a juvenile center, if not potentially being charged with a felony. A 15-year-old. There's now videos online about this, guys. He was in a Minecraft server when he threatened to shoot up his school.
Yeah.
And there's videos. It breaks your heart because tons of comments are about the bad parenting. So just people who can't understand what it would be like to watch your son have to go away for what he said inside a video game.
Right. Yeah.
So I understand both sides. Obviously, what he did is completely wrong. And, is there a way to avoid these kind of cases, these minute cases? I don't know. You can't go around to every single 15 under kid and say, hey, don't do all of these things in the world.
Right. Of course not.
But obviously, what he did was incredibly wrong. When you look at the chat as well, he actually said, his name, vowed to bring my father's M15 to school and kill 7 people at a minimum. And it's just so exact.
In that circumstance, I don't think the police had any other choice.
It's like you can't see, you can, as a public figure, as a police officer, as a public reporter, you cannot hear about this thing and let it go because of the circumstances that could happen if you let it go. And so I think, yes, all the more take him away to juvenile detention. Now they also could be charging him with a class action, a felony. So obviously it could get a lot worse for the kid, and that's where you start to feel very bad. But there's so many points to talk about. I don't want to go into too further of detail. We've just seen. It sucks the most because we've seen Call of Duty, CSGO. We had what's the NFL game? Madden. Actually had a shooting, and it seems in the past few months we've had actual political figures talking about gun violence in video games.
Yeah.
And ever since that's happened,
pushing it
we're not helping ourselves.
Yeah. Really and truly we aren't. And which sucks. And I mean, I think this is one of those circumstances where, in the past, like even potentially last year, this might have slipped under the radar, but I read an article the other day saying that the police, across the nation, have caught almost 30 different people who were planning mass shootings within the past couple weeks alone. And
to that point in this clip, this police officer literally goes, "It's my job to go around and find these kids." it's a sucky job to some extent, but he's also potentially saving lives.
Right, definitely.
And so, I don't know. I don't want to go into further detail with this. It's just crazy to see. Like, you wake up and you see a head. Someone actually, thank you, DM me this on. Several people did. And it's just like, you read that title and you think where we are. A 15-year-old on a Minecraft server threatens to shoot up a real-life school and is going to jail.
Yeah.
We are in a very weird time,
yeah.
and we'll see what happens, when judgment comes for him, and hopefully things can only get corrected in the future.
Fingers crossed. So I think I need to just I need to either make myself a shirt or buy a shirt that just says "I told you so" in huge letters.
Oh gosh, if
like
this is gonna be about Stadia, I swear to
back.
God, dang it, dude!
Because I cannot wait.
You can't even say you told anybody so because Stadia is not here yet.
See,
okay, you know what? Just get your speech over.
I'm not saying I'll wear the shirt now. I'm saying after it comes out, and everybody who's like, so we're not just shouting about Stadia without any kind of introduction.
Yeah, give it to them.
Yeah. So Gamescom was last week by the time you're watching this, and there was a Stadia Connect at the event, which was trash. Ignore that. Don't watch it. It's pointless. All right. But we got a lot of great information about Stadia out of Gamescom because they had Stadia on the show floor, ready for anybody who went to Gamescom to try. Not only that, but they were demoing Mortal Kombat 11 and Doom. And Doom is a game that like they'd been demoing before, and people have been making all these excuses, like saying like, "Oh yeah, it's really high pace, and you can maybe miss a couple frames here or there." But they were demoing MK11, which, if you know anything about fighting games, frames are crucial. I don't know any other game series where people are at base level almost expected to read frame data, and like 1 or 2 frames of a difference will ruin a combo. My friend sent me a snap of him playing MK11, totally fine. Did a 60% combo.
And that's all it takes to convince Zan that Stadia is going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be fantastic, no flaws, especially when millions of people pick it up and try playing it at the same time.
I don't know about no flaws, but I will say, like, this, if you're demoing something like this at in a convention setting, which, for those of you who don't go to tech conferences, the Wi-Fi there is utter garbage. You can be on a landline, and it's still going to be garbage. Like, it's just because there's so many people all trying to do so much at one time, it's always a mess. So if you get like 10 megabytes down to that type of event, you're lucky. Let's assume they're Google. They've got some extra juice. They can get 15 megs, right? And they can still run it well. Like,
is this something you're just spieling, or did they say the internet speed they had at the event?
No, well, this is just like general, like just to give people an idea of.
But this could have been a different conference, then. They could have had 300 down, 30 up. Who knows?
No, I would love to see a conference that does that. I've been to so many tech conferences. I've been in like newsrooms at tech conferences. It's always.
But were
bad.
you there?
It's always bad.
Were you there, Zan?
Hey, it's
my job to doubt you.
If they were able to fix convention Wi-Fi, that would have been the story.
Okay.
Google fixed convention Wi-Fi. That would have been a bigger deal than Stadia, to be honest.
I'm just saying, you just need some facts to back it up there.
Yeah,
but what else they showcase?
Here are some facts. So John Justice, which is a great name, by the way. Is that not dope?
Oh, no. It's kind of cheesy if I'm being...
Well, he's the VP of...
his parents did that on purpose, too.
Probably.
You're going to be John Justice. Gosh, dang it. Anyway.
He's the VP of product for Stadia, which basically means he has a lot of oversight. And he gave a lot of really interesting details that I wish he had just gone up on stage and talked about this, because this comes from an IGN interview, and IGN's kind of fallen off a little bit. No hate.
There it is.
No hate.
Every podcast got to knock on somebody hard. Today is IGN. Welcome to the Zan Trash Talk segment.
Are you IGN? Are you Inside Gaming? Who knows?
Gosh dang it. Are you Ooblets?
But anyway. So he said a lot of things that really gave me a lot more confidence in the fact that they sound like they know a lot more what they're talking about than every other statement they've put out so far. Like, he detailed exactly, he said he was asked how many devs are on board with this, right? Because we haven't seen that many games announced for Stadia. And he said, hey, here's the deal. We've got hundreds of developers working on games for Stadia. They've got thousands who have put in applications to work on games for Stadia, because they have not run into a developer yet who isn't excited by the possibilities. And he said Google, their thought process going into making Stadia was to produce an experience as good as a console at bare minimum. And then above that, to do better than what any PC gaming rig can do. Like not even better than what a really nice game, like, you know, better than any PC gaming rig you can have at home can do. Because
God,
which, I mean,
that's all I think whenever I hear these Stadia facts. It's just all this like freaking crazy thing. So I understand the doubters. I understand the haters and doubters.
So think about it like this, right? If you're a game developer and you're making a game for a console that has a really advanced AI, right? And to the extent where you need a very specific kind of chip and processing power behind that, right? And in order to really get the most out of your AI, someone has to spend $3,000 on a machine, right? Like minimum. And that probably won't even actually get to where you would like it to be. But by having Google servers take care of that load, because that's miles different.
Yeah, just hit your mic more, Zan.
But anyway, so they also came across as not nearly as naive about ISP speeds and such. They said they talked to ISPs. They know
internet service providers.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Got you.
They call you the dictionary.
I got Cox cable here. It's not the best, but
yeah. But they were saying, like, yeah, at base level, we find most people can play it. As an example, they talked about their demo of Assassin's Creed Odyssey that they ran last year publicly for everyone. And they said that in order to hit 1080p on that, they needed like an average 25 megabyte like connection. 25.
Is that down or
down?
Okay.
Yeah, which
is not terrible.
That's impressive on its own. 1080p at that.
Especially with the way ISPs are going, they're offering greater and greater things. Obviously, there's always going to be a select few people out there that only can get 10 up or 10 down. Right. So,
and then he said now Odyssey is at a consistent 15 down. You can get 1080p. And in really good conditions, it runs at 1080p on 10 down. So
I remember hearing these initial statements, and I was like, wow, holy frick. So we'll see how it all works out. What else they offer?
Yeah, they also said they are fully on board with cross-play and cross-save, and they want every single game that they have to be fully capable of that.
Yep, that's huge. That should be the way it goes. So. Okay, that should be definitely the way it goes. I think everyone is tending to go that route. We've seen a lot more cross-play and even cross-plat, a couple cross-plats, but more cross-play than probably ever before. So I'm glad that's going to be a partake. But
I feel like they would have been nice if they would have said that ahead of time, because there were a lot of questions about are they actually.
You can only answer so many questions though before you can actually know. Before you know what you're capable of.
Yeah,
so
it's very.
At least you touch on it now.
It's very true. I'm just excited about the fact that I'll be able to play like Cyberpunk and have it actually look like as clean as it does on stage, because I have a gaming PC. I know I would never be able to run Cyberpunk in max settings.
And I've never been a max setting guy. So I guess the one thing I'm really excited for Stadia is hopefully for it to be worth it. But second, like I've never been a high quality gaming kind of guy. Like, man, look at how great this picture quality is. So I'm hoping that with this, I can actually sit back and experience some high quality gameplay and not have to worry about
it. Just like pick up and play like that. Like that's. I feel like that alone, especially considering the fact that base Stadia 1080p is going to be free, and you just buy the game.
Yep.
Like that's an insane offering, and once again, I mean they're Google, so I mean they're not going to get rid of the games.
Yeah.
They're not going to be like, all right, the last Call of Duty didn't do so hot, so we're going to take that out of your libiggest.
Yeah. The games are yours, as we've confirmed. Yeah. So. The future of Stadia will continue to be brought to you here on this podcast. The biggest supporter of Stadia is still currently here. We're gonna, but I understand that the haters, so we'll see what they come back with too. But when's the official release? Do you know?
I don't have the date on hand.
Is it going to be this year?
Yeah, it's this year.
Okay,
I mean, so we get our copies in November, I think.
So we will also be trying out in the future, and we're gonna find out if they can actually live up to all the hype, which I really hope they can.
Yeah. Well, I'll watch out for our Stadia review.
Yes.
Yeah.
Real fast one for you. If there's one developer out there that can get away with anything they ever do to their game and people are still going to play it, who do you think about right about now?
Gearbox.
God dang it, dude. No, why can't you... Epic Games.
See, I know that's what you're going for, but I don't know if that's true.
Why can't you just go, yes, it is. What do you mean? Okay, you know more about Gearbox, but people know more about Epic Games. Okay, Epic Games, Zan, it gets away with everything they possibly do. It's a quick talk on the fact that have you heard of mechs? Have you heard of brutes?
I have heard of brutes. People seem to be very unhappy about giant robots.
Yeah, they're very freaking opposed to giant robots in a video game that's already RNG enough. How crazy is that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, what did you expect? What did you expect? What did you expect them to do?
It's on both sides, though. It's like, okay, Epic Games has done this before with planes, the sword, other overpowered things. But it's also like, what do you expect from the other side? Because like, what do you expect Epic Games to do? Like, they've never changed these things drastically before. Like, they keep putting them out there because you keep playing their game. And so it's like, unless people stop playing Fortnite, Epic thinks, hey, we're still in control, motherfrickers. We're going to I'll drop freaking candy all over the map if that's what you want. And people would still like that. People would eat it right up.
No, yeah. And realistically speaking, the mech isn't affecting things that much.
Oh, shut up.
I know. I saw
the graphs,
I saw statistics.
Statistics?
Statistics.
I saw that.
I saw statistics.
I saw the statistics. Dude, those frick you, man. Yes, okay, it does. It's a small portion of the kills, but if you read it within context, Zan, that small portion of kills is kills that weren't being gathered before by the lowest level of players that don't deserve kills in the first place. It's game changing.
What do you mean they don't deserve kills? It's a free game for children,
Jake.
I
see what you're doing. Oh man, I thought you were on the other side for a second. Whew. Okay, yeah. Now,
see, like from my perspective, fighting games went through something very similar, right?
Yeah.
Where
with what?
Within recent years, they've been integrating auto combos into the game. So now in most games, most large fighting games, like even BlazBlue is completely based around auto combos, the entire game.
So simpler for
literally just pressing a button and you do a combo.
Oh, okay.
Right? Okay. Right? And obviously, the way that works is if you're good at the game, if you're a pro, you find a way to work with that. So now, those of us who play a lot of fighting games, we worked out, okay, we can use the auto combo here to extend our larger combo and make it work. Or, oh, this is a person who's using an auto combo a lot. We know how to counter that as long as we're not playing stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, because in essence, just as that, they're trying to remove the skill gap a little bit. Right. And it's hard to... It's hard because Epic Games is a very casual-based game, right?
Right, yeah.
The large majority of their player base is casual.
That's where their money comes from.
So they're going to keep on putting out mechs and such. And you understand that. But at the same point, if you're also running tournaments, you got to have some kind of different setting. Like, you can't have that heavy RNG in a competitive setting as well.
Well, we've already established that Epic doesn't really care about that.
That is also true.
So, like, why?
You're making some very good points here.
I feel like pro players, if they know about the mech, develop strategies to deal with it. Because realistically, I've seen the mech in action. I've seen pro players adapt to it. It doesn't seem that problematic.
The problem is when a pro player is facing off against a pro player. If you got a pro player inside a mech, you can have it can be pretty dangerous.
No, yeah, but
a pro player can deal with a noob sometimes in a mech, but there's always going to be that one chance where they can't.
And that's what actually the issue is. That's what actually makes the engagement interesting. You know,
they should pull.
That's where That's where, as a pro player, you adapt to that. That's where I feel like there's so many ways for people to just adjust, and if you're not gonna adjust, then why are you playing Fortnite still?
They should pull a COD. Yeah, COD is notorious for the last couple of years, or actually I think for a while, what the pros would do is the pros would all agree. They'd all have an agreement. We're not using this attachment. We're not doing this.
Right.
That's what Fortnite needs to do. When you go to a competitive event and you hop in a mech, everyone ousts you. They go to your PC, they call you out yo!
They just pull the
Team Blue's getting a mech!
They pull the cable.
Yeah. You just have one dedicated guy at every event. If he sees a pro in a mech, just unplugs him. Now that's a solution.
See, yeah.
But I understand what you mean though. You make good point. You make a good point, especially with so much money being on the line.
Right.
You're a pro player. Make an adjustment, but you can only adjust for so much, Zan.
Then play a different game. Move on.
You're so serious, dude.
Because high key, I am tired of all these Fortnite players being why is this serious competitive game made for 5-year-olds? Not obviously not actually made for 5-year-olds, but really and truly, how long have people been complaining about the changes Epic has been making to the game?
Man.
Literally,
I see both sides though. I understand their frustration.
Find a different game. If you're good at games, you can do that. It's fine.
Oh man, it's a good point because they know they're not going to likely make as much money outside of Fortnite.
Right.
So it's stop complaining and adjust. And if you don't want to adjust, find another esport that you're not going to make near as much money doing. But I don't know, man. That's why it's such a great debate. Right. There's so it's screw Epic, but you understand what they're doing. It's okay, pro players, stop complaining, but you understand why they're complaining.
It makes every bit of sense on Epic's hand, right? Because that's, at the end of the day, they're going to make their money. They're going to make, I wonder how much money the Brute is really going to generate for Epic. Because imagine all the 12-year-olds who played a game of Fortnite and, they're just I'm never getting any kills. Like, there's
And
no
there are
point.
brute skins too.
Yeah. See?
God dang it, Zan.
See? Like, really.
And that's why they don't respond about it, because they know if they respond and pull like I don't know, pull another developer who would respond about this, it's just more backlash. You just add to it.
Yeah.
Let it settle. They'll maybe nerf it here and then. They keep their game fun for casuals.
Right, yeah.
And
maybe Fortnite pros actually have to try for once.
Okay, you know what? Man, what a great debate. I'm really curious what you guys think about that, because it's like it's such a back and forth argument. There's not one solid side. I would not.
Oh, definitely not.
Like, you understand it from all points of view. But yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy, especially in light that a lot of players have quit the Twitch Rivals event. Just wanted to bring it up. Mechs are still in the game. They're going to stay in the game. And Epic's still going to have a game that people will play and pay to play.
You know, just watch Epic. And
that was a great ending to the freaking... What are you going to say? God dang it. That's a good closure.
You didn't give me a heads up. You didn't you should have been like...
About to end this one, all right? Ready?
This is going to be such a good segue out.
What were you going to say? I hope you didn't forget.
Yeah, I was going to be like, in like 3 months, they're going to take the mech out of the game, and then they're going to do the same thing that they've done with the Infinity Blade, like bring it back every now and again.
Oh, yeah,
be
for
like,
for limited time mode. The mech is
exactly,
back, but limited time.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be those people that, I missed the mech, man.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to wait until it gets to a fever pitch where the pros are just mad enough where they're about to leave, and then they're going to be like, oh, we're listening
I
to
don't
the
think
community.
one pro player is ever going to say, man, I missed the mech. I hope not.
Well, no, probably not. I'm just saying.
But casuals for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
God dang it.
Yeah, all right. So this is more of a brief story that I just wanted to get your opinion on it, because I think it's really interesting.
I'll share my opinion, bro.
Yeah, because this is something that our team lead, Chris, and I had been talking about in designing a new website, where we had this belief. But
New
we
website.
New website on the way. Check it out. Stay tuned.
In a few months.
Anyway, so it turns out 71% of esports fans only pay attention to one game.
Wait, what? Can you repeat that real quick?
71% of esports fans only watch a single game.
Get the frick out. What do you mean?
Yeah. So, so our thought process months ago was that, league people don't really, it's not like league people are really, really like, oh, let me go watch some CSGO. I'm done playing League for the day. Or it's not like Overwatch people are like, oh, I'm going to just go chill and do some CSGO, check out that major.
Yeah.
Like, on a general level, that was our general vibe. But it's good to see.
Oh. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you again. I always do this.
Totally fine.
I just want to clarify, because I was definitely lost. He means that 71% of people only watch their one game.
Yeah.
Not one specific game together.
I was
like, what game is that popular?
Yeah. They only watch
one game. They probably knew that? I was like, wait. Okay, sorry, continue.
Yeah. And there's like the crossover between like the three major titles, which this report is from Newzoo, by the way, a game industry analysis group. The three big games, League of Legends, CSGO, Overwatch.
Killing it, boys.
Those are the three majors right now. From a pure numbers perspective, there's only 6% crossover between the three. If you overlap, only 6% of people will watch all three. And then even when you say like, oh, how many people? I
guess it doesn't make sense. I only watch two.
Yeah, like for Overwatch and CSGO are much more similar than Overwatch and like League of Legends. It's still only like 6% to 8% crossover.
Dang. Yeah,
like nothing.
I guess it makes sense, but dang, that's not much overlap.
Yeah, like not at all.
I feel I'm surprised Fortnite's not on the chart.
It is, but it's not at the top.
Because I feel like Fortnite has more overlappability, especially because, I don't know if that's a word, but because how much money they put out, people are just interested generally, because there's so much more money involved, and it's kind of easy. Actually, I've seen it both sides. I've seen people say that Fortnite's super confusing to watch. For me, though, I think it's very easy to watch.
See, I feel like the thing is people who watch Fortnite probably just watch Fortnite.
Really? Because I watch Fortnite and CSGO and League.
Think about our position, Jake. Like we're very.
Yeah, you're right.
We're a select user case.
Yeah. I forgot about that. If I was a grown man with a full-time job, had time for 2 hours a night, you're watching.
How long is a tournament? Like that's like probably 2 to 4 hours if it's a short one.
Oh, and they always have the same.
Brief.
They're on the same times usually, especially nowadays.
Tons of.
Frick. Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like what game is going to come along, and or how are they going to format it in the future where they have more overlap?
Yeah, I'm wondering like how
will there ever be?
I don't know. I don't know that there ever will be because I feel like it's almost
does it
too
need to
hard.
be though? Because what's it like for traditionals? We should have a comparison.
I would love to see a comparison
because it could be less for traditional sports.
It's very possible, but I would like to see a larger readout of how many esports fans there are in the world on a general level.
Yeah.
because the numbers I'm thinking are kind of crazy. If 71% of people are only watching one game, and yet the industry as a whole is doing so well.
Again, maybe maybe we're doing a really good job and we don't even know it.
It's very possible
because it's very accessible. So I imagine we're probably doing better than traditional sports. But it is weird to see that
there's a reason Kellogg's is shifting their advertising budget from
Pringles.
Traditional. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean that's crazy. I'd love to know a comparison between this and traditional sports of how good a job we're doing at watching esports.
Yeah.
Okay, very fast fire here. Zan, it's going to be Call of Duty World League. We now confirmed it's called Call of Duty World League or CWL. I just wanted to share some facts. I know. So, bouncing off you, your opinion on this. The league is now, it's going to start in January next year, 2020. Okay. I'm excited.
Bet.
I'm hoping it goes well.
Cautiously optimistic.
COD has a chance for a resurgence.
Very possible.
Minimum salaries, $50K.
Love to hear that, yeah.
Each and every player, apparently the teams who currently have players signed, they have first dibs on re-signing their players.
Makes sense.
Minimum roster now going to be 7, maximum of 10.
Great move for the health of the
I think so. I think it's expensive as balls to pay $25+ million and then have to salary 7 elite players.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think that's ridiculous. But hey,
it sounds like Call of Duty is trying to make sure everybody's taken care of.
Yeah,
and
hey, props to them for doing that.
Yeah,
and speaking of taking care of them, last point, Path the Pro is now back, which means they're going to actually have Activision Call of Duty supported dedicated prize pools to the separate events throughout the year. So you'll have pretty much your CWL, your pro team, but you can also send players to these Path the Pro amateur events, which are open online qualifiers as well. So, and I think it's a great thing.
Love to see that.
It's a great, solid announcement. I have no complaints.
It's worked amazingly for Street Fighter so far. They started doing the same thing.
Did they? And Fortnite has done open and online qualifiers as well. So wait, they have a amateur setting as well then?
Yeah.
I like it. I like the fact that they're backing it. I wish that Activision would back the teams a bit more with money, as opposed to just a few events here and there. But
there's probably some numbers there.
But if the teams are biting, then they got the money themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess my only one concern would be they have 9 of 12 teams supposedly. Their future plans are for 28. I don't know if there's enough COD organizations in general who want to pay that price.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they might have to give a discount here or there.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah,
especially because they said their spots in 10 years they expect the evaluation to be $45 million per slot.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know orgs they want to.
That's
steep.
I don't know if I can see Call of Duty doing those numbers, realistically speaking.
Viewership would tell exact opposite, so you'd be right. You'd be right.
Yeah,
so we'll see how it goes.
I love Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, I'm hoping for resurgence. It sounds good for now, but we'll see how that one ends up. And very lastly, guys, now I'm going to end our podcast. If we don't have a Randy watch, we're going to read some comments, answer some questions. If you guys ever have questions, feel free to leave them down below. We might touch on them or not. So mine is actually from Hans. He asked if we have we ever thought about starting a Patreon. And luckily, the position we're in right now, we have not. If it ever push comes to shove,
we haven't had to.
Yeah. So thank you for your concern if that's what it was. We don't consider having a Patreon for now. In the future, maybe far down the line, but for now, not a necessity.
Yeah, all right.
Zan got an interesting comment.
Next one is from a homie Nick CS. He says, "Why is this dude there? That's kind of weird." And I realized,
so why is this dude here? That's kind of weird.
I realized that I probably since like episode 1 or 2, like maybe 3 at the latest, I kind of we haven't said anything about why I'm here or who I am. We're just like, hey Zan, and I'm just like, yeah, because we see each other every day.
Dude,
so
on
we
the
don't
street.
think,
what do you mean?
Yeah.
So who are you, Zan?
Yeah, so I take care of our website primarily. I put up all the articles, I edit them, I make the images for those, and I shout at Jake on occasion.
Yeah, so he's kind of like our back end guy. Yeah. I would say our utility guy. And on top of that, any future merch ideas also go through him as well. So that is who Zan is on the team, our very small team, and we just thought we were the best people on camera. So, but yeah, that's. Yo, did I? All right. Well, with that, Xanafer, we're going to wrap up episode 15.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Nice, fun episode. Thank you, as always, guys, for staying tuned on the podcast. For some reason, the podcast, not like crazy comments, not crazy views, but we keep on getting reached out to of a good job at the podcast. So thank you guys for watching and keeping us coming back every single week.
Appreciate all the support.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, real quick on the end, couple announcements for the channel and for everything overall. Merch is on the way.
Yep.
We ordered samples just this week, so as soon as we get them in and we know that the quality is good, because we don't want to give you guys trash.
That's why I waited this long.
Yeah, honestly, we were just really trying to make sure that it's actually good for you guys. So that should be coming down the pipe soon. And kind of on that same tune, we're going to Metarama. We have a giveaway live right now for some tickets, and we're going to have some merch there too. So, if you love to support the channel, go check out the giveaway. It's on Twitter, it's on the website, see what's good.
And I might do some interviews there, which I'm really scared for.
Yeah, hopefully. I can't wait for you to be talking to Snoop. Just
what's up, Snoop? How you doing, man? Oh God, I'm gonna be so nervous. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by. Esports Rewind Podcast, episode number 15. We'll see you guys back here same time next week. Until then, see you guys. Thanks for watching.